Hi, eighth graders. Welcome back. Yesterday we talked about enslaved people living in the Louisiana colony and the ways that they resisted oppression. Today we're going to jump ahead in time to today and look at how Black Americans resist oppression today. Our aim is to be able to explain the ways in which Black Americans liberate or free themselves from oppression today. Oppression is when someone is treated very cruelly and unfairly, or a group of people are treated cruelly and unfairly for a really long period of time. And so our aim is to figure out how do Black Americans today free themselves from prolonged, cruel, and unusual punished or treatment. So the question we're trying to answer in our documents is how do Black Americans liberate or free themselves from oppression today? So a little bit about the history of oppression and resistance. In this unit, we've learned about how the French settlers attempted to strip the Africans of their culture. And they did this by doing things like enslaving them, taking away their freedom, and trying to strip them of their humanity. Here we see this is a slave auction, so people are being sold off to new owners. They also tried to strip them of their culture and humanity by whipping them and giving them really harsh, cruel rules and punishments. They tried to strip them of their culture by taking away cultural elements such as drumming on plantations. And they also tried to force enslaved people into converting to Christian religions. So we know that there were a lot of Catholics in French Louisiana. So enslaved people were forced to convert to Catholicism. And we know that they were actually able to maintain many of their African elements of religion. They just mixed them with Catholicism in Louisiana. So, despite this, many of the early African cultures, or much of the African culture, was able to remain part of enslaved life. And this became both a method to maintain their roots and a method to resist the oppression of slavery. So, even though there were so many attempts to take away that culture, enslaved people were able to maintain roots and elements of their African heritage. So today, there are a lot of movements to reclaim and to celebrate African culture in America's Black community. For example, we have the natural hair movement. This is a movement that says that some people say, the natural hair movement is a movement that says that natural and curly hair, like many Black women have, is just as beautiful as any other beauty standards. Hiplet, which tries to blend ballet, which is usually it's known for having more white ballerinas, and hip hop. So they merge those two dance styles to create a new form of music or form of dance. And then rap, which celebrates a lot of Black America's African roots. These are all examples of Black culture that remains alive in America today. These movements reject that European beauty and cultural elements are superior, and they embrace elements that come from Africa rather than trying to hide it or make it look more like a Caucasian person. All right, you have two check for understanding questions. When you're finished, please close the video.